Hi guys, and welcome to a very special episode 50 of the Crochetcakes podcast. My name is Clarissa Beth and I am your host, lonely host for each and every podcast starting in February up until now. And I'm pretty sure it will continue to be that way. Now, you can find me on all the social medias, namely Elo, Instagram, YouTube, Ravelry as Crochetcakes. I'm most active on Instagram. I am trying to fix that on Ravelry, but lately I have been inactive pretty much everywhere. And that is because I got bronchitis. I'm still not fully recovered. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, I got bronchitis, so woe is me. And I just didn't feel much like crocheting or knitting or any of the things that we usually want to do. You see, I'm kind of a reverse crafter, I guess. When I'm sick, I don't want to crochet and I don't want to knit. I just want to sleep and read. And sleep is good. Sleep is very good. And so is reading. So I'm not complaining too much about that. But yes. So that's why I say it's a very special episode, because I come to you today with a lot to talk about, but not a lot of makes. And you'll see why in the future of this episode. The other place you can find me at is Etsy. I do have an Etsy shop. It's Dainty by Crochetcakes.etsy.com or etsy.com/dainty by Crochetcakes/shop, if I'm not mistaken. But all the links, as always, will be in the down bar below. You can also contact me via email by just sending me a lovely email on crochetcakespodcast@gmail.com. And you can also follow my blog, which is crochetcakes.com. I've also been a bit remiss on my blog, but I do try to post a blog post. I do try to blog at least once a week, just to keep everything fresh. And I also think it's very fun because I try to podcast every 2 weeks. So if I do a blog every week, then we can spend some time together every week. The last blog post that I put up was about the Shieldmaiden blouse pattern. So this is up in my blog. You can download it as a PDF. It's, at the moment, like I said in the previous episode, not finished. I do want to try making a DK version of it and a wool version. You know, I just want to give you as many options as I can as possible. So with that in mind, the instruction does give you the stitch count for this stitch pattern so that you can adjust it to your needs. I'm pretty sure if I make a DK version, I'll probably be using the 68 stitch count, which is what I'm using for the large, extra large. I just didn't provide the instructions for it. I did, however, give you a stitch count. So if you're an experienced crocheter, you could probably go from that and keep moving forward. I also have in my blog a post about the puff stitch cushion that I showed a long time ago. It was my entry for Zines and Rogers Granny Along. So that was a long time ago. At least it feels like a long time ago. So that recipe, it's more like a recipe, is also up in the blog. And I have a lot more planned because it's September and we are entering the sock along, the much awaited sock along. But before that, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you have a very crafty week, and I hope you enjoyed my intro. I just thought it would be really fun to kind of show you what I do to get ready, because sometimes I've had people ask about my eyebrows, that they really like how I do them, lipsticks that I choose. This one's new, and it's something I bought at Dragon Con. I'll be talking about that later too. And you know, just the products that I generally tend to use, and just to show you that eyeliner is never perfect. It doesn't matter what product you use. If you've, you know, got it on lockdown, then you're good. Doesn't matter how much it costs, doesn't matter how much it's used. And I've also done a bit of eyeshadow because I wanted to try the new colors I bought. All the links for everything will be in the down bar down below, but this is Sugar Pill, and the eyeshadow, the peachy one, is Sugar Pill. The rest is Naked by Urban Decay. I love the Naked Basics palette. If you want to try Urban Decay makeup, but you're like, I do not need all those colors, try the Urban Decay Basics palette. You cannot go wrong. But anyway, nobody pays me to announce that. Nobody pays me for anything, actually. I just like to share with you guys what I do and how I do it. And that's what this podcast is all about, right? All the crafty things. And makeup, if you do it right, it's a craft. I'm convinced. So as I mentioned, I went to Dragon Con. So other than being sick, my fiance didn't really want to leave me in the apartment alone because, I don't know, I guess he was afraid that something worse would happen while I was sick. So we had already booked an Airbnb with some friends to go to Atlanta for a Labor Day weekend, which is this weekend just gone if you're in the States. And yeah, we had planned to go to Dragon Con and do a lot of fun stuff, mostly food tasting, and just try to do things that we don't really get around to doing in Florida. So, being sick, I wasn't up to doing much, so I kind of saved my energies for Dragon Con, which we did on Saturday. We drove down on Friday. We made it to Atlanta. Well, we were like 20 minutes away from downtown Atlanta. In 7.5 hours, which was brilliant. And yeah, so Friday we just really kind of got there, had dinner, and stayed at exploring the Airbnb. I didn't really take pictures of the Airbnb because it wasn't like an apartment that the person had for rent. It was a house that the person actually lived in, and you know, instead of asking people to watch her house, I guess she charges people to watch her house. But it was a lovely time, and the most important thing was this. I'll be including little bits of footage at the end of what we got up to and the things I managed to record. But what I do want to say about Dragon Con, I missed Sherilyn Kenyon because she was going to be there on this day, and we went down on the 31st, which was a huge bummer. Huge. It kind of like, what's the point of going to Dragon Con now? Because all I wanted to do was meet Sherilyn Kenyon. But some cosplays were amazing. But what really drew my... Excuse me. As I was saying... Sorry about that. My dog got his paw stuck in the crate. So, as I was saying, what really drew me about Dragon Con that I was completely not expecting was how much fashion there was in there. It was so beautiful and amazing. And one of my favorite stalls was, yeah. So this is handmade by this company. And I had a lovely time chatting with them. They do bridal gowns. They're based in Minnesota, but their information I will put down below. They also have an Etsy shop where you can see their designs, and she told me that basically how it would work if I decided to, you know, have my bridal gown just amazingly unique is that I would give them an idea, they would send me the sketches. If I agreed on the sketches, they would do a mock-up, they would mail that mock-up to me. And then any alterations I would send to them. We would Skype just to chat about, and they could see how the mock-up fit and all that. and then they would send me the bridal gown. I was really excited, I'm not gonna lie, but they work mostly in silk. And this is not like a picture, this is something that they actually made for a couple. Just go check out their page. Even if you're not gonna order anything, you will fall in love. So that's what really drew my attention to Dragon Con. It's all the fashion, all the different types of fashion that you can find there. I just think it's brilliant. And speaking of fashion, I am wearing a very unique piece crocheted by my mom, who is Inspired Professor on Instagram and Ravelry, and she's got a blog, the mindandmuse.weebly.com, and she wrote a pattern for a collar. Not this one, but it's another collar that she designed, and she wrote it. It's a free pattern on her blog. As you guys know, one of the things Mom loves about crochet is making crochet jewelry, and it's also one of the things that kind of drew us to crafting together, because I saw Mom crochet a collar and I wanted to crochet it, so we kind of just started getting into the collars from there, and Mom has made amazing collars ever since. So now that I've chatted to you a little bit about that, I guess I would also say if my voice, my pitch is a bit low, it's because I can't hear anything out of my left ear right now. My cold, bronchitis, whatever, left me kind of deaf on this ear. I'm still trying to determine if I do have an ear infection or not, which is always all sorts of fun. But other than saying, I hope you guys enjoyed the show and that you've had a lot of crafting time, I think I can move on to what am I hooked on. I've mainly been working on two things. One of them I took with me to Atlanta and actually worked a bit on it. And the other one I worked while I was sick, which was my commission. And my commission I have to finish like today, between today and tomorrow. And I'm well on my way. It's just that today I have like a doomsday book list of everything I have to do. But this here is the pattern, and he's called Albert the Elephant. Albert the Elephant. And right now I finished crocheting most of the pieces. I've had to recrochet a leg, but I'm just kind of like fiddling with it and trying to figure out how I'm going to piece it together. The one that's frustrating me the most is oh yeah, it's like frustrating me the most because I was sewing it and then I realized it's supposed to be this way. But I don't know, like, how am I gonna place it? Should the eyes stay there? Like, this is generally the position of it. I mean, does that look like an elephant or just a weird thing? I don't know. And I really, since they're safety eyes, I really didn't want to just like safety it in there and then stuff it. And what if I don't like it? I guess I could just take out the stuffing and then remove it. But then you lose the safety eyes because they're safety eyes for a reason, aren't they? So that's where I'm at, and like all amigurumi patterns, you don't really, at least the ones that I've made, you don't really get instructions on how to sew it together. And for some patterns like Galette Hat the Dragon, which is my favorite amigurumi pattern and it's by the Stitch Tower on Instagram, the pictures she provides are good enough for giving you a general idea of how you want to sew it together. And I find it a lot easier to sew together, especially because the snout of the dragon is all part of a head, so you don't really have to figure out if it's gonna look like a dragon because of where you place the snout. But I figure that with the elephant, it's really hard. At least I find it really hard. And I don't have a picture of how she begins to put it together, but she just shows you a picture and she's like, place between the eyes. Okay. She might give you where you should place the eyes, but I don't know. So I was really upset last night after I got out of work. I worked all day yesterday. Got home about 9, had a shower, sat down to work on this guy, and I was just frustrated with that trunk, so I kind of just went to sleep. But I did go to sleep like at 11 o'clock at night. So yes, it was very frustrating. Not much else I can say about this. I did do a little Instagram live, and I'm trying to do a lot of Instagram lives, kind of treat them like a vlog, because this is essentially a vlog cast, you know, it's a summary of everything. But I try to do an Instagram live story at least 3 times a week so you guys can catch up with what I'm doing. And if that's something that interests you, then please go ahead and follow me on Instagram and comment. I love it when people comment. I love interacting with you guys. So yes, don't be shy. The other thing that I managed to work on was my secret garden dress. I took my crochet hook case with me. I love carrying it around even if I'm not using it. It's a very big part of my life right now. And if you're interested in any of them, I do have some for sale in the shop. So go check that out if you want. Inside my Crochet Luna bag, I also have my notions pouch. But the pièce de résistance is this guy. So this is the beginning of my secret garden dress. I managed to finish the 3.5 rows, and I've managed to do the 4mm rows. So as you can see, I kind of figured out a way to make them on the diagonal, which is very exciting. I actually do love it. I love it. But what I figured out is that it only reaches my belly button, which means if I want this to be a dress, I have a long road ahead of me. And because of that, I opened a Ravelry thread if you're interested, and it's just a crochet dress Ravelry thread. So it's basically a crochet along if anybody wants to join me making a dress. There's no time limit, it's very casual. It's just to post pictures of dresses, crochet dresses that we find, that maybe we find inspiring, crochet dresses that we want to make. It's just that type of thread. I called it a crochet along, but you don't really have to crochet along. You can just share pieces that inspire you and that you would potentially make one day. As I said, this is the Secret Garden dress by Cassie Ward. It's in issue 101 of Inside Crochet magazine. And I am using Lolli yarn, which has sadly been discontinued because I absolutely love this yarn. So this is color 61013 taffy, and the yellow is lemon. This one's called apple. This one, if I'm not mistaken, is lime, and the orange mango, I'm pretty sure that's it, and the gray, I don't remember. I think let me check the labels. I might have a bunch of labels here. Oh, I'm sorry. The gray is called Humbug. It's called Humbug. So originally I had purchased most of these colors from woolwarehouse.com. They were on super sale because it's discontinued yarn. So I purchased the orange, the gray, and the blue, and the yellow, and the apple from woolwarehouse.com, but I wanted another color. And then I went on yarn.com, and they also have the yarn on sale because it's discontinued, and I bought the lime. And they still have, because I purchased about 3 weeks ago, some more little balls of the lime because I'm gonna run out. But you know what I was figuring? If I run out making the original size that they intended, it'll just be a tunic for me. I could sort of live with that. And if I still have some more, I guess if I still need some more, I could just make the bottom like gray. So I could do one final row and just all gray if I have enough left over, which I think will also be really fun. So I'm starting the 4.5 millimeter squares, and I'm going to be using a new hook that I bought, and it's not going to be the hook that I showed in the previous episode, which is the Sleeping Beauty. I actually bought a tulip. Why do I keep saying Tumi? It's a tulip crochet hook. I'm gonna see how life goes with that one. And what else can I tell you about the pattern? It's slow going, but I really enjoy it. I'm going to finish the front part of the pattern first and then work on the back part. But at the moment, it's all fitting in this lovely bag. Which reminds me, I do have to make garment bags for my shop. And my dog is judging me right now. He's like, why are you talking to a camera when you could be talking to me? That's life. Sorry about that. My tea water was brewing, and I really want tea. So, what other makes have I worked on? I've worked a little bit on the Ollivander shawl, but the progress is not so much that I want to share with you, which means, once again, I did not manage to finish for the Summer Romance cowl. I did not manage to finish it for the Summer of Sorcery cowl. I did not manage to finish it for the finish along. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the other garment that I had started, which is the Aster top from the Filigree book by Marie Woolen, I'm going to rip back. I'm going to rip it back, and I'm going to buy myself a ergonomic 2.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm going to make it into 2.5. You know what? I might even buy a 2.25 and make it in the 2.25. That's hot. And that is because it's way too big. I know it's too big, and I know I'm never gonna wear it if it's that big, and I really want to wear it. Plus, I don't want to waste that knit crate yarn. It's awesome. So other than 2 pairs of socks, which I'm really upset about. So as you know, I've been knitting my fiance some socks, which he's really desperate to claim as his own and wear them. Every time I ask him to try them on, I asked him to try them on 3 times. So the first time I needed just a little bit to get to the toe decreases. The second time he's like, I think you're making them too big because it already covers my pinky. I was like, nope, that is perfect because now I can start the toe decreases. Started the toe decreases, I'm halfway done with them. Have him try it on again. It's below his pinky. So I just want to know, how do you mess up trying a sock? Was it my mistake? Was it his mistake? I don't know. Maybe his feet grew exponentially and his feet are still growing and I'm never going to be able to finish a pair of socks for him. I don't know. So those socks are currently in the naughty corner, which I don't know if I'm going to rip it all back, do a couple more lines. I think I just started to jumpstart it though. And I was like, okay, I'll just knit like 2 rows and then decrease, knit 2 rows and decrease, and then I'll just do all decreases. That should even it out. Ooh, boiling. So I don't know about you guys, but for me, tea has 2 instances. It's boiling and I burn my my tongue, my throat, everything, or it's tepid. So yeah, I think I just want to share with you the other crafting makes that I have been up to, which do not include knitting or crocheting. or makeup, they include sewing. Now, I've already talked to you about one of the collaborations that I'll be doing for a Christmas advent, and I will be collaborating with Claudia from the Crochet Luna podcast, Melissa Dawn from the Melissa Dawn Wool Artist podcast, and Caroline from the Not Inspired Professor podcast. I'm sorry, Mom. Caroline from the Mind and Muse Crafting podcast to bring you a mini advent calendar. Now, I will be making a sock bag. Melissa Dawn will be dyeing up some minis. Claudia will be designing a button, which she already did, and it's beautiful. And Mom will be crocheting up some mini sock keychains, which are so cute. She calls them keychains, but if you have like a mini tree in your office, you could totally hang the socks from there. So I was working up a new sock bag pattern that kind of came along because of a collaboration that I will be doing with my mother to bring you something super special for the sock along, which starts in September, the day of Yarn Day. And it's a crochet sock along. I think it's a crochet sock along. So, Mom and I kind of came up with this sock design, which I think is actually perfect for socks. I like it more than my original small bag. I'm sorry, if you see me just sticking this finger out, is because I managed to cut all the way down into the nail bed. It's recuperating, which is good. But anyway, back to the bag. So I think this is perfect. I'm going to show you the size that I usually did my small bags in. So I think I'm still going to keep making the small bags, but these are sock bags, and I think they're so much cooler because it's definitely a pair of crochet socks or knit socks fits in here. So are you ready for me to reveal the gorgeous bundle that you can purchase from my shop to jumpstart your crochet sock for the crochet sock along? Are you ready? Now, just a heads up, this also celebrates the release, soon to be release, of Mom's crochet sock. The one she designed, which is going to be a free pattern on her blog. Right. Are you guys ready? So, Mom and I decided on this gorgeous Alice in Wonderland fabric because the sock pattern is crochet, it's got a cupcake stitch. So, tea time, and this is an Alice in Wonderland inspired fabric from Rifle Paper Co. And it's boxed. The inside is just lovely and got roses. What speaks more of tea time than this bag? I have no idea. But not only will you get this bag, you will also get 3 10-gram minis all rolled up and ready to go so that you can make your cupcakes. And what I mean by that is that once you're doing your sock, you can do your cupcakes in different colors. So one for the base, one for the middle, one for the frosting. See? And we're including this in the package. So each bag will have these 30 grams of yarn inside of it because each ball is 10 grams. And I will be making 9 bags total. These do have a little bit of interfacing, which is what I need to go buy because I started sewing some of them yesterday and then I realized I forgot to put the interfacing in because I ran out. So I just have to rip the seams and go now and buy interfacing. you know. So that will be in the shop. I really want it to be the shop no later than this week. But I work Thursday and Friday, and today, Wednesday, is my only day off. And like I said, I have a doomsday list of things I need to do. I need to go buy that interfacing. I need to do a little bit of grocery shopping because there's nothing, absolutely nothing to eat. And I need to wash clothes. Again, I washed 3 loads yesterday. It's crazy. I also need to finish this commission, and I need to sew at least 5 more bags so that I can have 7 completed. I'll be happy. And then I can take pictures and put them in the shop, and you guys can go check it out. I'm so excited about this, guys. Mom and I have been planning using Alice in, well, at least I had been planning on using Alice in Wonderland bags since she came up with her sock design, because oh, I just love the combination of it. So while I'm on that, let me show you the bag I am going to be including in the mini advent calendar. Oh, I know, it's only September, but as makers, we have to be ahead of the game, and we have to start thinking about all those gifts that we need to make and all that jazz. That is why I'm really desperately trying to finish everything I have going on, put on hold everything I've started for myself, and cast on, crochet, all the gifts that I have in mind. I'm pretty sure everybody is going to be getting hats this year. At least Edison is, his friends might be, my brother definitely is. I'm trying to think if I have yarn for my sister, because I definitely do not want to do a sockhead hat. I haven't even finished that turban. I'm the worst when it comes to knitting. But anyway, so those are items that will be in the shop, hopefully this week. If they're not in the shop by Friday evening, actually, if I manage to sew at least 7 of them today, and yeah, I average about 3 bags a day. Between cooking and cleaning, I think that's all it'll be. So maybe I'll have 6 total, because I already have 3 done. Do I have 3 done? Yes, I do have 3 done. So if I manage to do 3 today, that'll be 6 total. I can at least take pictures, which I can still do because I already have the one of them finished, and the bags are not going to be different from that one. So I can take the pictures, and I can, it's just one picture that I need to upload. So I could definitely have it by Thursday afternoon or Friday. I just really want to get all 9 up there at once, but we'll see. Yes. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I want to tell you. I'm going through all the stuff that I've sewn for the shop. I've still got some of these crochet hook cases if you're interested. And that also reminds me, I need to get my tushies and gears because I need to go to the post office. What time is it? I think it's 9. So I'll probably go to the post office, on the way back stop at Joann's, buy the interfacing, then do the groceries, then come back, be starving, have to cook, probably sit down to sew at about 3. Story of my life. And then I'll sew from 3 to 6, which will hopefully give me enough time to make 3 bags. And then I'll probably work on my commission from 6 to 8. And at 8 o'clock, I'll read my book because I purchased Under the Tuscan Sun, and I could not be more excited about that. So yeah, guys, I apologize for drinking tea on the podcast, but my throat needed it. And yeah, I hope you're as excited as I am about all the things that I have going into the shop. I'm really trying to think of what else I would like to include in the shop, because I really want to turn this into my full-time job, which hopefully will happen soon-ish, in October. Maybe. Alright guys, so that is it for me today. I hope you have a wonderful crafting day. I hope you've had a good week. It is Wednesday, so it's the middle of the week. So I hope that what's left of this week is great for you. Thank you for tuning in to episode 50 of the Crochetcakes podcast, and thank you for just always supporting me. If you like these videos, then don't forget to subscribe, and if you would like to see any other content from me or have anything to say about me at all, then please don't hesitate to contact me either either by commenting below, or shooting me an email, or private messaging me on Ravelry or Instagram. I do try to respond to everybody, and it's just so much fun. And if you want to check out the blog, then it's there for your perusal and for your enjoyment. So please do not hesitate to also check it out, comment, follow it if it's something you're interested in. Just, you know, other ways that we can all interact. And also, if you would like to publish a free pattern on my blog, or you would simply like to write a blog post, maybe reviewing Yarndale or Rhinebeck, or any of those lovely woolly shows that you've attended, then please do not hesitate to write me a message. Shoot me a direct email preferably, and we can just talk it all out. You can write the piece, send it to me, and I will post it in the blog as soon as I can. Because as I mentioned when I first started the blog, I do want it to be just another way that we can interact. So before I leave, the other thing I wanted to share with you that I keep forgetting to share with you, and it bums me, is something that I received from a lovely, loyal, longtime viewer of this podcast, Sinead. Sinead is from New Zealand, and she sent me this beautiful piece that she graphic designed herself. And if I'm not mistaken, she also has a shop in which you can download these digital prints. She just happened to have one printed out, and I did not do that. This was the post office, which really bums me out. And the reason I hadn't shown it on the podcast is because I really wanted to find a frame for it before I showed it and just have it appear majestically in my wall. But seeing as we're talking about Alice in Wonderland, my bags. I just love this print so much, and I want to hang it up in my craft corner already, but I just have not found the perfect frame for it. So with that final lovely beautiful note, I will leave you guys to get on with the rest of your days and enjoy whatever it is that you will be doing after you finish watching this podcast. Bye guys!